morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Inside Scoop. I'm your host, Bubba. Along with me is my co-host, Joey. How you doing, Joey?
Hello.
I trust all our fans out there had a safe and happy 4th of July. And we're back for another taping of the Inside Scoop.
After 3 weeks.
Yeah, we had a week off. I wasn't feeling so hot last week, so we didn't tape last week. Well, I'd like to start things off with a more positive note. I know Joey has a great list going here, a long list of birthdays. Let's get to our birthdays first, Joe. First birthday I want to mention is my own brother. My brother turned 63 this year. My brother Kevin, and July 2nd. Happy birthday, Kevin.
First off, we got Coco Beware.
Who I've met.
His June 20th. He's turned 65.
Wow, can't believe Coco's 65.
And the next one is Jay Youngblood.
Yes.
June 21st.
The late Jay Youngblood.
The next one is one of Hulk Hogan's old enemies. Still started with a movie. Tommy
Zeus?
Tiny Lister Jr.
Yes.
Zeus.
He passed away, what, 4 years ago, I think, or 5?
I'm not sure. His birthday was June 24th. The American Nightmare's wife, Brandy Rhodes.
Brandy Rhodes.
It's June 23rd. She's 40. She's the older woman in the relationship.
Yeah, I guess Cody's, what, 37?
38.
Yeah.
I'll get into his birthday in a minute.
Oh.
We got Matt Stryker.
I remember Matt. I met Matt Stryker.
June 26th. He's 49.
Can't believe Matt's 49, too.
And now the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. June 30th, 38. The Hitman, Bret Hart. June 2nd, 66.
Who I haven't met, but I've seen.
June 6th, he's 66.
Can't believe he's 66 already.
Barry Windham. The holiday, July 4th. 63. Terry Funk, June 30th, 79.
Terry is 79. You know, he still wrestles on occasion. At his age, yeah, he's still going. Terry Funk still wrestles on occasion. He'll still strap him on and go out there and try to wrestle.
The Nasty Boys, Jerry Sags, July 5th.
Who I've met.
59.
Can't believe he's that old.
Hillbilly Jim, July 5th.
Don't go mess with a country boy.
71.
That is 71. Yeah.
Natalia's husband, Tyson Kidd, on July 11th, 44, which was yesterday. Mark Miro, July 9th, 63.
Sable's first husband.
Yeah.
Yes. Who's now married.
In fact, her current husband's coming up on the list. Shelton Benjamin, July 9th, 48.
Wow, Shelton's in great shape for 48.
Gilberg.
Yes, I saw that yesterday myself on my internet.
July 10th, he's 64.
Saw that on Wrestling Forum.
Now we got Sable's current husband, Brock Lesnar, which his birthday's today, July 12th, 46. Another one that's today, Sami Zayn, July 12th, he's 39. Bobo Brazil, July 10th.
Legend.
Kevin Nash, July 9th, he's 64.
How old is Bobo? How old would Bobo have been?
I didn't look to find out.
Find out, okay.
And this last minute one I just found out a few minutes ago, Rene Goulet.
Who I met?
His birthday is today, July 12th.
Renee's got to be in his 70s now. He has to be.
Would have been.
Yep, because I met him when I was younger. Well, let's go to the negative now.
Actor.
Go to our deaths.
Actor Nicholas Costa.
Okay.
He's appeared in many TV shows.
I don't recognize the name. I don't recognize the man.
Actor Alan Arkin.
Yes, I recognize that name. Been around for years.
You probably recognize this one. It's a former WWE wrestler, Darren Drozdov.
Yeah, Droz passed away. Poor man got paralyzed in a wrestling match, and he had a tough life, last 10, 12 years of his life.
And actor Julian Sands.
I've heard the name, but again, I can't.
Well, I know him from the TV show Smallville during its last 2 seasons, where he played Superman's birth father on screen, Jor-El.
Okay.
So I know him.
Okay.
And I know, because I know he was been missing in the mountains somewhere in California, and I guess they finally found him. Well, what was left of him, I should say.
Well, that's a list of that. I know, well, my condolences to all of our people who've passed, and happy birthday to all of us who are celebrating birthdays or celebrated our birthdays. I know we just had our pay-per-view. I'm sure all our folks and our fans watched that Money in the Bank pay-per-view from London a couple weeks ago. And Joey, let's go over our results, see how our picks did.
Okay. Versus the men's Money in the Bank match with Ricochet, Shinsuke Nakamura, Damian Priest, LA Knight, Escobar, and Butch and Logan Paul.
I picked LA Knight to win that, I believe.
And I think I picked Escobar, I think.
No, I think you picked Shinsuke, didn't you not? Maybe you both picked Escobar.
I ended up going to Judgment Day.
Yeah, Judgment
Damian
Days.
Priest.
Yeah, senior Money in the Bank, Damian Priest, that was a great match.
The women's Money in the Bank, Becky Lynch, Zoe Stark, Trish Stratus, Zelina Vega, Bailey, and Io Sky, and Io won.
Io Sky won when she handcuffed Becky to
Bailey.
That was an interesting finish to a match.
Oh, correction. Damian Priest is Senor
I said-
Money in the
I
Bank.
said senior Money in the Bank.
The next one is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes against Dominic, and Cody won.
Yes, we both said he would.
World Heavyweight title, Seth versus Finn Balor.
Which was a great match. That was an excellent wrestling match. That might have been the match of the night.
Which started an argument between Senor Money in the Bank and Finn Balor, which continued the following Monday.
They seemed to resolve that though last night,
Yeah.
watching TV.
No, this one was a good one. Roman Reigns and Solo against the Usos. The Usos won.
Yes.
With Jay pinning.
Jay pinned Roman. First time in 3.5 years that Roman was pinned. That was an outstanding wrestling match. Those guys killed each other. I think the Usos kicked out of what? 3 finishes from Roman Reigns?
One went right between Roman's legs. Oh, this one was a shocker on this one. The women's tag title is Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler against Raquel and Liv Morgan.
Not a shock. I mean, that's a pretty even match, but
Shayna turning.
Shayna turned on Ronda. I've read that Ronda has asked for an immediate out to her contract. That's why.
Yeah, her contract was supposed to, from what I read, her contract was supposed to end April next year.
Yep, and she asked for an exit contract to leave fast.
And we got new.
I think we've talked about this with a couple of friends of mine. I think she wants to get pregnant again. With another child.
So she wants to go back to her old roots.
She wants to go back to MMA, you think?
Yeah. And we had new tag champs because of Shayna. The ones that never lost the titles in the first place. And lastly, it looks like it's going to be a rematch next Monday. The IC title, Gunther versus Riddle, and Gunther won.
Yes, we also had a return of Drew McIntyre, who's going to get in Gunther's face. That could be very interesting, Gunther against Drew McIntyre.
We had a special appearance by John Cena.
Yes.
Campaigning for WrestleMania in England.
Yes, yeah, he did put a good promo on for that. Should WrestleMania go to England? What's your opinion? I think it should. I mean, the great fans
They had
were loud.
They had SummerSlam out there.
They were loud. Yes, that was Wembley Stadium, wasn't it?
Yep.
Wasn't the main event Bret Hart against the British Bulldog?
Yep.
Yeah, that was one of the most watched. I think it was Intercontinental Championship, was it not? That
I think so. I think it was either that or the European. I don't remember which.
No, I think and it was. I think it was Intercontinental Championship, and I know British Bulldog won the match over Bret. He pinned him on a roll up. Great wrestling. Well, I mean, there's been some good storylines going on in the WWE. We're getting a few factions. I mean, the Judgment Day is getting bigger. It looks like there's a little bit little bit of chink in the armor of
Judgment Day?
the other one too, the other faction with Io Sky and
Oh, yeah.
Bailey for what happened at Money at the Bank, but there's really been no repercussions from that, which I'm shocked. Bailey didn't do anything about it. Imperium has a little feud going now with Riddle and Drew McIntyre. They were going at it for a while with the tag champions. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, one of our birthday boys. Like I said, the WWE has been interesting. It's been interesting to watch. I recently had the pleasure of going to a NCW match last Friday night up in Bristol. And I'd like to congratulate Stephen Lust in becoming the new NCW World Champion, Heavyweight Champion, and NCW, I think they're calling it the East Coast Champion? Well, he's a dual champion. He had won the Ox Baker Cup, which entitles him to be in any match, almost like a Money in the Bank idea. Well, there was a main event between Robbie the Giant and Kellen Riot Thomas, who were both champions. Good match, great match going back and forth. All of a sudden, about 7/8 of the way through the match, Stephen Lust came out and cashed in his Ox Baker Memorial Cup. He ended up pinning both of them at the same time. So he won the dual titles. Congratulations to Steve Lust. Again, that show was, I think it was $20, but I got a couple slices of pizza and a poster if I wanted it. I didn't keep the poster, I gave it to a child, but really good wrestling show. And I mean, it's only $10 for general admission. Excellent shows. Again, a lot of local contingencies. NCW always puts on a good show. Always quality wrestling. A couple female matches. One upset, I know, the Dirt City Motor Crew lost to Ariel and BMT their tag titles, which shocked me. A mixed tag beat the regular tag, but it is what it is. That was a very good wrestling match. The whole card was very good. I've been saying this all along, folks. Want to go see some great independent wrestling? Log online. NCCW has matches coming up. I'm not sure where they are this month. I didn't look my schedule over. And I know RWA Legacy is starting up. That's going to be at the Colonial Theater, I think the 30th, Sunday, July 30th, which I have a ticket for. I'll be going to that. If you ever see me in any of these wrestling shows, feel free to walk up to me, say hello. I'm glad to talk to you. We could talk wrestling, talk about anything you want, really. But I prefer to talk wrestling when I'm at a wrestling show. Awesome times. There hasn't been much really going. I mean, wrestling is going back and forth on WWE. A couple wrestlers have been kind of absent lately. Maybe you've noticed this too a little bit. We really haven't seen Elias wrestle in about a month and a half. I haven't seen Rick Boogs in about a month.
Well, I did see him backstage when they were carting Jimmy out into the ambulance.
Okay. But I haven't seen Elias wrestle in a while. I haven't seen Piper Nevin wrestle in about 5-6 weeks either.
Yeah. She
hasn't been really anywhere.
Unless they've been lately hyping some of the new people too.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're bringing in people like Indy Hartwell, who's a great wrestler. Zoe Starks, coming in good. On the male side, Pretty Deadly's been wrestling. They've been doing okay. Chance and Carter, is that the names of the girls, the female tag team that were tag team champions? Yeah, they've been doing well. I mean, we haven't seen Alma Fire and her partner at all since they lost the titles to Ronda and Shayna. They haven't been back for a few weeks, but it is what it is.
I don't know what happened to the NXT titles.
I don't know what happened to the NXT female tag titles.
As I know, Ronda and Shayna won them. We haven't heard from those since.
Nope, nothing. It's kind of like faded away.
Unless they went back to NXT.
I don't know. They should have maybe a tournament in NXT for new female tag titles. I know, what's the name? Tiffany Stratton's a female champion down there, and Carmelo Anthony's been having a little bit of a feud now with Judgment Day.
Oh yeah, they showed up there last night.
Yep. They wrestled. I don't even know who won that match. I actually
I didn't
missed
see it, so I didn't know.
Yeah, I fell asleep myself.
A Hall of Famer taught a newcomer some respect for their elders on Friday night. Edge taught Grayson Waller a lesson.
Well, the first time Grayson Wallace really wrestled on the main roster
Yeah.
since he came up. He's just been talking. I mean, he's funny. He's a funny character, Grayson. Well, he's actually a good wrestler, but they're not letting him do much. Not having him do much. The Miz won a match finally. He beat Tommaso Ciampa in a no disqualification match. That was a good match this past
Well, he had help.
He had help from Bronson Reed.
Yeah, his new so-called friend.
Yep. He turned his back on Tommaso Ciampa. You've seen me.
No, I think Tommaso turned on him.
Well, essentially, I guess that when he was down, the Miz never contacted him, never texted him, never got in touch with him. That is what it is. I mean, WWE has got some decent storylines going, got some decent wrestlers, decent people going back and forth, working. They're influxing in the new NXT people and keeping it interesting. I wish I'd known. I wish I'd stayed awake because I fell asleep last night for the Braun Breaker Eli Dragunov match with the #1 contender. I don't know why Braun Breaker's not in the main roster. He should be. Hopefully they'll bring him up soon. Everything's been going interesting with him. We haven't seen in the Share Jinder Mahal's tag team for a couple weeks now.
Jinder did do a video promo.
Yeah, they're dangerous. They're dangerous two guys. I mean, that could be an interesting match against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn against Indus-Sher. I think, matter of fact, I think Indus-Sher would win that match. I really do. Where they've been getting a push and just destroying people. They're not even beating people up. They're destroying them when they wrestle. And, I mean, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Gunther against Drew McIntyre would be a great wrestling match. Gunther's a good worker. So is Drew. Excellent wrestlers. Both technical. Gunther he bends the rules a little bit, but vicious chops. Vicious, nasty chops. He's been hurting people with it. I'm keeping you awake?
Nope.
We've been going on here now. Oh, let me go off subject just a slight bit. The Red Sox are the Red Sox. They're still in last place, but they're kind of getting hot a little bit. I know, although the American League for the first time in 11 years lost the All-Star game last night. I believe it was 3-2. Leading his home run off. Ironically, it was Bautista from Baltimore, not the one we know. But the Red Sox been on I think a 5-game winning streak before the All-Star game, and I think they're a couple games out of 4th right now. So maybe they'll turn things around and things will get better. The Celtics, I know, made a big trade. Marcus Smart got traded with a draft pick. They released a couple other players they lost. I guess this new center they're bringing in, this new guy's pretty good. Averages 23 points a game, and hopefully he works well with the big two, and we have a strong team next year. There hasn't been much happening with the Patriots. They're not really talking much. Haven't got any major draft picks. They're still talking to Andre Hopkins. Is that his name? You ain't following that at all. They're still trying to. Who's still in the hunt for a new football team. A couple of Bruins left. Bertuzzi, I think, is gone. A guy who I liked, was it? Last name is Hay? Was it Hay? I forget his. He was a good player for them last year, but they just traded him. I know they lost one of the defensemen too. They picked up as a free agent on a trade last year. He lost him to free agency. But I mean, things happen in the local sports scene. It's kind of really just kind of baseball season right now. One thing I do want to mention, to go back to indie wrestling for a time, I just thought of this. Right here in North Attleboro at Kids Day on July 22nd, NCW will be over there for a free show. Yeah, free. If you go to the fair, go right over, watch the wrestling. They're having a couple shows, I think, in the one day. I think it's on Saturday. This is July 22nd, so on Saturday. I am unfortunately probably will not be attending that. I have something pre-scheduled I'm going to be going to, so I'll try to get down there for it, but I can't guarantee anything. So you want to see some local wrestling, independent wrestling for free? Bring the nieces over to go with their mom maybe and talk to them. Bring them to the local show. It'll be your first local show. Go call Steve, see if he'll bring the kids over there. I know there's gonna be food, so it'll keep him happy. Definitely keep Steve happy. Have you spoken to Steve at all?
I saw him earlier today when he was on lunch break when he called me.
Lunch break? He had food out of his mouth long enough for him to talk?
He always calls me on lunch when he's on lunch break sometimes.
It's good. So you keeping in touch with him? Is he enjoying his retirement?
But I don't know.
Retirement from the show, because we do miss him. Steve, we may joke a lot, but we do miss you on the show. We don't realize how hard this show is without you here, without talking. I mean, I'm kind of dragging right now, folks, to figure out what we could talk about.
As Cody Rhodes say, what do you want to talk about?
Attleboro. What do you want to talk about? We start singing songs now?
No. Well, they sing his song and they also sing Seth's song.
Whoa, 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 whoa. And Seth Rollins' song. It is pretty funny. One of the wrestlers came out and I think it was Finn Balor, said, I don't want to hear no singing at all, and the whole crowd started singing instantaneously just to rub it in. That is pretty funny. After wrestling does get interesting, gets funny, gets characterized. I know some of the announcers. I'm not sure what's up with Pat McAfee, if he's not coming back right now, if he's in kind of a limbo still, he's not going to come back.
I don't know what's going on with him.
Because I know, what's his name, is doing very well over in SmackDown. I like the way he commentates.
The former Nexus
Yes.
leader, Wade Barrett.
Wade Barrett. He hasn't got bad news for us anymore, but he's been commentating good over there. I like the way he commentates. He may be kind of pro-heel, but he does a good job commentating and color commentating the matches along with Michael Cole. And over on Raw, we have the Irish fella there.
Oh, yeah.
I always forget his name. And
Corey Graves.
And Corey Graves. Corey Graves is...
He goes in between good and bad.
Corey fluctuates a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
Sometimes he's good. Sometimes he goes back and forth. I know he likes Seth Rollins, so he promotes Seth Rollins pretty good. The Bloodline story is still going.
Yeah.
We saw Roman Reigns attack Jimmy Uso and hurt him, and Jay, I guess, attacked Roman at the end of the night.
Oh, yeah, and challenged him.
Challenged him to a match.
Didn't say anything about a title or anything. Didn't say SummerSlam, no. Just challenged him for a match.
Well, I think it'll be the next pay-per-view, which I believe
It's SummerSlam.
It's SummerSlam.
The first weekend of August.
Yep.
Usually it's the last weekend, but this is the first weekend.
I know July 30th, I believe, is the night of... I think it's July 30th is the Great American Bash for NXT. I used to have a Great American Bash shirt from the old WCW. I don't know what I did with it. I'm not sure if I sold it. I gave it to a friend. Gave it to a collector. Good friend of mine. There hasn't been really many major moves trade-wise anywhere that I've seen that... I mean, enough to really spark any team. So I can't really talk about that too much. A lot of guys going down to NXT to wrestle, like Baron Corbin, Mustafa Ali, Dana Brooke's been down there. Of course, Judgment Day was
She
just
recently
there.
wrestled on Raw. I think it was a week ago.
Yes, she hasn't been around for a while, but she looks like she's dropped a little bit of weight, but she's in great shape. I mean, she's a good athlete, but she's a person that's not going to get a push I think on the main roster, she might do better down in NXT right now. Couple wrestlers. There was another Oriental wrestler, the wrestler for SmackDown for a while. I haven't seen her in months.
Oh, Xia Li?
Xia Li. I haven't seen Xia Li in gotta be 3 months. Anywhere. Wrestling anybody. Of course, Asuka's still their champion with Bianca Belair going against Charlotte Flair. That's definitely going to be a triple threat. You could sense that for SummerSlam. They haven't announced it yet, but they can.
I read on Facebook someone put predictions of what kind of matches the matchups are going to be for the SummerSlam this year.
We'll have to wait a couple
triple threat's one of them.
Hopefully that's one of the ones we see. Didn't Austin Theory lose a match to somebody and now he's going to...
No, he did. He won with the help of those two idiots there.
Pretty Deadly?
Yeah.
Because he's been having some interesting matches as of late.
I've been seeing rumors that he's supposed to be losing that title.
I've heard rumors of that too because he's getting stale. His character's getting a little stale. I mean, who could beat him for that title? Who do you think? Who do you see beating him? Remember, they're going to be on part of SmackDown too. I don't know what's up with Kofi Kingston, so I mean.
Or Big E.
Big E, if he comes back. Big E's debate where he's going to come back. They're trying to figure out what to do with Big E, and the whole New Day faction may be kind of gone by the wayside. There isn't really a great wrestler on. Well, Bobby Lashley's been quiet too for the last few weeks. Maybe a few weeks. I think he's just taking planned time off. I can see Bobby Lashley going after that title again. Deserves it. I guess Braun Strowman's still about a month or two away from coming back from his injury. I read that online recently. He'll be back. He had a neck injury, I believe.
Yeah.
Other guys going down with injuries. I don't see... I've also heard rumors maybe they might give it to Edge and Edge is going to retire it. Going to retire after he wins it. I've heard that. I read that online. It's just been... It's kind of like a... I'm trying to think of who's on SmackDown if I could really give him a... I'd love to see LA Knight do it. I think LA Knight... He's a guy that's a bad guy. It's really getting a push. The fans are really taking to him. He's getting a real good fan base. Well, I can't believe... No, this show's already gone. We've been here a half an hour already. Well, I would like to thank Double ACS for having our show. Director for taping us. Joey for your co-hosts and your lists and your valuable input. I'd also like to hope everyone out there had a very safe 4th of July. Thank you very much, and we will be glad to see you all again in a couple of weeks. Enjoy. Bye-bye.